Yo, what's up, good people, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Thorough, where we give you the real behind business, health, money, and self development, and introduce engaging concepts to help you perform better in all areas of life. I'm your host, Cedric Lavelle, joined by my counterpart, E80.
Yo, what's good people? And we back to y'all for episode 80, Changing Pages, Authoring Your Life Story. And before we kick this off, be sure to follow us on all our social media pages, the Instagrams, Threads, YouTube, and also be sure to check out the kits.
Yeah.
We got a nice revamped website.
Superb.
And the kits are super dope. As I said before, easy to share. And all that good stuff. So yeah, be sure to follow us, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, all that. But yeah, let's go and kick this thing off, Sid.
Yes, sir. So, episode 80, Changing Pages, right? And interesting thing about this particular episode is, we all.
Well, hey, before
Go ahead, bro.
My bad. Before you even kick us off, bro, I think we should say what that means, right? Like what we mean by that.
Yeah.
So like changing pages, what are we talking about?
So I get the definition. So with changing pages, this is not staying in one place, not focusing on one moment, not focusing on one situation, not being stagnant, but really looking to push forward and change the page, move forward, go to the next phase of life, transition, progress towards better. Life is continuously in motion, and we all have to be able to thrive and move as life continues on. And in order for us to do that, we have to change the page. We have to go to the next phase. We have to transition. We have to look to see what's the next thing for us, not get stagnant, not get stuck in a rut. And a lot of times when you're in situations and you're trying to figure things out, that can stop your mobility. And people can tend to shy away from challenges or taking risk or doing all the things that may make you uncomfortable because you're not wanting to deal with what it feels like to change the page. You don't want to have to face what's on the other side because you're uncertain. You don't know. So what if I'm changing the page? What's next? What's next for me?
The fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown, man. The fear of the unknown. And a lot of people are faced with that on a day-to-day basis. But one of the best things about being able to change the page is knowing that you are the author of your life story. And we hear that often. People say, you're the author of your life story. You hold the pen in your hand.
It's super cliche, but it's super
Absolutely, man. We are the author of our life story. And in moments of challenge and change or through troubles and tragedy, we have the power of our own perspectives. And with the power of our own perspectives, we're able to take an approach to life that's going to allow us to choose how we proceed. As we move forward, what are we going to do? And when we're in those seasons of the shifts in the unknown and going through seasons of ups and downs and so many different obstacles, what has to be understood is in life, there's always phases and transitions. That's what life is all about. Phases, transitions. We have to embrace those phases, embrace those moments, and then be willing to transition and move forward. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, definitely. And keeping on with that analogy of a book and like turning the page, right? So just like a mystery novel, our lives thrive on the turn of a page, right? And moving forward and embracing that change is very, very important. And transition, adaptability, and evolution are essential for expanding our life experiences and venturing into unknown offers psychological liberation and personal growth. And basically, what that means is you have to embrace that
Yeah.
unknown, right? You have to, like I say this all the time about how I view risk, right? I view risk as a lack of information. Like the more you know about something, the less risky it becomes. So if there's like 10 things to know about something and you know 7 of them, not as risky. You might feel a little bit more confident, moving forward. But if there's 10 things to know and you know one,
That's gonna be
you
a
might
little
need to do a little bit
risky.
more. Yeah, it's gonna be super risky. You need to do a little bit more
Right.
research, something to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, right? And when we're talking about moving to like the next phase of your life or flipping the page, to make you more comfortable and to embrace that, you have to do some, some self searching. You know what I mean? Like some,
Got to dig down deep in your
yeah,
soul.
dig down deep and kind of know what your purpose is,
Absolutely.
know what you're trying to accomplish. Structure your goals, and then that'll make it way easier for you to embrace, what's ahead
Right.
and take additional challenges and to make that next page, that next phase of your life that much more exciting, and continue to help you evolve and improve as a person.
Yeah. And with that, with those changes and with the progress that you make, one thing people have to realize and understand that there are so many benefits to change. No matter
Oh, absolutely.
how fearful you may be, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, no matter how challenging it may be, change is a good thing. You want to change. You don't want to stay the same. You don't want to have to continue to go through the same things that you go through every day. And I feel if you look at your life as a book, as a movie, something that you're authoring or something that you're directing and producing, you can really go through life somewhat like as an adventure. Like you're exploring so many different things. And so three things typically that you hear when it comes to stories. So one thing would be a character arc. And that's basically, when a character is on a journey and they're going through all these different emotional changes, all of these transitions, all of these phases, and their character changes over time. Same thing with people, same thing with us. We have to change over time. We have to adapt. We have to adjust. We have to pivot whenever it's needed and whenever it's necessary. And we always have to evolve, right? We can reflect on our chapters. And so that's really having the self awareness and the introspection that allows us to confront issues and gain insights into our motivations, what moves us, what pushes us forward, what are some of the things that really lights us up and engages us to want to turn the page, to want to try something different, to want to step out of our comfort zone and do something that we never done before, right? And then the last
Right.
thing would be being able to adapt to plot twists, right? Because there's always going to be a plot twist. There's always going to be something that's uncertain or unclear that just kind of catches you off guard. But in those moments, you can always be led to change. In unexpectedness, you can have positive change that flow from that, right? Because like I said, if you're looking at your life as a story and you're the hero of your story and you're claiming that and you're embracing that, no matter what comes about, you're going to face those adversities and face those challenges from the perspective and the mindset of a hero. Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
win in this situation. I'm not going to allow this to bury me or defeat me. I'm going to win. I'm going to have victory in this moment, and I'm going to author my story. I'm going to shape it because I'm claiming victory over the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. So when you think about your life, and we're talking about, obviously we're framing it in the analogy of a book, right? And as the chapters get higher up, you should be improving and becoming more successful and so on and so forth, right? So think about, as you move through, your book of life, how you can make different edits and revisions to improve, as you can continuously progress, right? And I have a saying, I've said it a bunch of times, and I think you've even quoted it as well. Nothing's final until death, right? And what that means to me is, whatever decision you make, say you get into it with a family member or a friend, or you in a financial bind, or whatever negative situation you're in, right? You can get out of it, because up until this point in your life, you've got through everything else you've been through, and nothing is final until death, right? So as long as you wake up and you breathing, your heart pumping, nothing's final.
An opportunity.
So what you need to do is make some edits and revisions, right? Where can I improve, right? And what that essentially means is, embrace change as a continuous process of evolution on your life, right? So think, and when you're in them challenging situations, right, and you can't really see a path forward, or you're lacking motivation, just know that you're being tested for a reason.
Absolutely,
right? Like, I don't know, if a person is religious or not, spiritual or whatever the case may be, but God tests you, right, to prepare you for that next phase, or in the case of our example, for that next chapter, right? So embrace that change as a continuous process of evolution, right, in your life. And then set clear, measurable goals, and then accept the inevitable of mistakes and on your path to growth. You know what I mean? So we talk about the importance of setting smart goals, right? But set goals. They're extremely important. If you don't have a goal, you're going to stay stagnant, because I talk about, being able to measure progress and things like that, and how it'll improve your efficiency and help hold you accountable and all those things. So very, very important to set goals. And then, self-awareness through reflection helps in understanding and rewriting your life narrative, right? So when we talk about edits and revisions, right, look at what's working, look at what's not working, find areas of improvement, focus on those areas, and, do better. It's really as simple as that. And self-awareness is extremely important, because a lot of people lack it, I feel.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are very quick to point out the faults and negative things of other people, but they're not as quick to point the finger at themselves. And the reality is, we all can improve in some form or fashion, right? So embrace change, set clear goals, and have self-awareness. That's goals. I felt like I said
you said goals. It's something like that. I didn't want to call you out, but I just let you have it. I didn't even need to say nothing.
Embrace change, set clear goals, and have self-awareness.
And like you were saying, man, when it comes to challenges build character. Challenges builds endurance. It allows you to, it's almost like getting reps in, right? In order for you to be strengthened to go through something, to help someone out in the future, to be able to embrace the responsibilities that you have in your next phase of life, whether you're a CEO of a company, or you're a parent, or you're coaching, or you're in a different career path and you have a different profession, whatever it is. In many instances, the moments that you're experiencing right now are preparing you for that next phase of life and that next phase of growth. You have to embrace the challenges. You have to embrace the adversity. You have to embrace the hard times. You have to embrace the bad times, the hurtful moments, the pains, all of those things. You have to embrace it and have perspective as it relates to that as well too. Because when you have a well-shaped perspective, and again, you're looking at yourself as the author of your story, the hero of your story, you're going to take those moments, I'm going to control my narrative. I'm going to control how this thing turns out, right? And so 5 things that you want to do right? When it comes to controlling your narrative, one thing you want to do is acknowledge the story. So start by accepting your current self and your future self. See where you're at right now and recognize where it is that you want to go. Simple as that. And start crafting out something that's going to allow you to get there. Recognize your circumstances and what you want to change, and then you make the decision to move yourself forward. The second thing is define your new chapter. So set clear, measurable goals for your future. See the change you want to bring about. Same thing E was just saying, right? Set those goals. Understand where you want to go, where you want to be. Start moving forward. Nothing changes unless you change.
Yeah, and start immediately.
Start immediately.
Right now.
Start taking action. It doesn't have to be anything significant, but you have to make some sort of movement. In order to move forward, you have to move forward. So put some action in, right? Next thing that you want to do is just take the leap. Take the leap. Implement actions. Implement actions and steps towards your goal. And so we talk about this a lot of times as well, too, when it comes to like routine and habits. Putting things down on paper, really taking a survey or an assessment of your day, taking every minute of your day from when you wake up to when you go to bed, making certain that you account for every minute. You know, making certain that whatever that you're doing throughout your day is really progressing you towards better and towards your goals. You have to do that. You have to take account of your time. If you're not aware of what you're doing within the 24 hours of your day, and you can't reflect on your day and say, hey, I did X, Y, and Z to draw me closer to my vision and my goal, that's an issue. That's a problem. Yeah. Because you're not knowingly moving towards anything. You're blindly just going through your day, not acknowledging how you're spending your time, and then you look back and reflect and ask yourself, well, what the hell was I doing? Well, you wasn't doing nothing. Because you didn't.
And then a lot of people aren't happy with where they are, but then aren't doing
right.
anything.
So it's like you have to ask yourself.
Complaining about it doesn't change.
What are you doing? What changes have you made? What changes have you implemented? What different mindsets and behaviors and perspectives and procedures and processes have you started taking a part of to see the change? The next thing is reframe your perspective. Life is all about perspective. E and I have said that countless amounts of times, right? So actively work on reframing your perspective on past events and present challenges. A lot of times people tend to look in the past and take what happened years ago and bring it into the present and say, well, this is why I can't do X, Y, and Z. I didn't have this, so this is why I'm like this. I didn't have this person doing this for me or helping me in this area, so this is why I'm at this point. No, you got to change your perspective. You got to take control of your life and where you want to go. And then the last thing is just choosing power and belief. So that goes into everything that I really just said, right? So choose the beliefs that are going to set you free from the bondage and the heartaches that you feel that you're experiencing. Again, we're going to all have to go through certain things that's going to test us. All of us. I go through stuff. I'm going through stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? But again, yeah. I don't look at it as a barrier. I look at it as something that's building me up because I know what my future holds. I know what I want out of life. I know what my purpose is. I know what my calling is. And I dedicate myself to it every day. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be some times that you're going to want to quit and give up, but you can't. It's
anything worth having ain't easy, man.
Exactly, man. And if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? But I feel like everyone has a unique calling that they have to commit to. Me and Eric, we're well connected. This is my brother. You know what I'm saying? He family. But our paths are different. Now, our paths aligned together to bring us to this point because of the journey that we were on. But as far as what our futures hold, they're totally different. But he's been through things. I've been through things. But in anyone's path, man, like if you're progressing towards better and you have your purpose in line and you craft out a purpose statement for your life, you're going to connect with people that are going to help you get out of a situation that you're dealing with. You just have to keep moving. That's it. You got to change the page. Got to.
Absolutely. So really kind of summarizing this episode, right? And said you mentioned this in examples you gave about ways to improve the story, but you are the hero, narrator, and author of your life's story, right? Simply put, You are the hero, narrator, and author. You are in control. You determine and dictate what's on that next page by the actions you choose to take or lack of actions you choose to take, right? So it's very important to embrace the power that you have to change the narrative, right? And that starts with acknowledging, envisioning, and then, putting things into action, right? You have to act.
Yeah.
That is very, very important. And we stress that a lot, right? Because I know I used to be one of those people that would plan. And actually, I know Seds are like this too, because I've actually told him before, like, look, bro, we just got to do it. Like, you can fix it later.
You did,
But
bro. Yeah.
I used to be one of those people who want to plan, get it perfect, and then finally get it out
Right.
there. And that's not how it works, man. And I've told you this. I'm sure I've told you this before, Said, and I'm not going to get into a long, drawn-out description of it, but what changed my perspective on that is how I see businesses operate, right? And I learned a lot about the two tech giants, Apple and Microsoft, right? Microsoft, which I'm a big fan of, by the way, but Microsoft,
A little biased.
and I got
what it
respect.
sounds
I got
like.
respect for Apple. I got respect for Apple too.
Sounds a
And
little
1,000%.
biased.
Hey, I put my money where my mouth is, man. I hold both stocks, so I like that. But anyway, back in the day, Microsoft had a problem of slowly releasing products, right? Or not breaking into industries until they felt like they got it all the way right. But then if you look at somebody like Apple, when the first iPhone came out, it didn't even have the App Store. It didn't have a bunch of features that it has now, right? But Apple's philosophy is, look, we're not gonna hop on these latest trends and this untested tech and all that. That's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait for that to mature until we can properly implement it, where it'll be an enjoyable experience for our customers. So what we gonna do is we gonna take what we got now, make sure it works the best that it can, and we gonna hurry up and get this out to the market. And then we can continue to improve on it over time.
First to market.
And that's how you have to view your life, man. First to market. Be first to market, man. You got an idea, man, start doing something. You know what I mean? You don't gotta have it all figured out. And truthfully, what I learned in business is when you think you got it all figured out, once you actually start going through the steps, you realize you don't got it figured out, and half of what you had planned ain't even gonna go there.
Scrap it.
You gotta scrap it and start all over, right? So action. Once you come up with an idea, you put pen to paper, do something. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be drastic. It can be simple, and then one thing will lead to the next, and then you'll start seeing those changes.
Absolutely.
But as you go through those phases, or each page turn signifies new opportunities and transformations in your life, right? So you're at this current stage in your life, or on this certain page in your life, and things aren't going well. You're making some adjustments. You set some goals. You working towards those goals. You turn that page. You got a whole new opportunity now. This is a blank page, man. This is a blank page. You get to write this, right? This chapter, right? That last page was the end of the last chapter. You starting a new chapter right here. What this chapter gonna look like, right? You are in control of that, So the pen is in your hand. Take charge and keep writing your story with courage and determination, and know you gonna win. Have that mindset, right? And I posted some earlier about the transition between being a hustler to a CEO to an investor, and a lot of people honestly probably don't know what those three things are, right? They don't realize that the investor is the top one, right? Like a lot of people, everybody, I want to be a CEO. I want to be a CEO. Well, guess what? You're still a worker. You know what I mean? Being a CEO. When you're an investor, you don't work for nobody, right? But in that post, what I talked about is the importance of your mindset shift, right? Because I had seen a Instagram post where a guy was basically saying, anybody who's reached some level of success, that hustler in them has to die, right? Because what got you to where you are now is not what's going to take you to where you want to go, right? So as you hustle to put yourself in a position where you build a name for yourself, you start a successful business, you're doing everything it takes, like you working day and night. And now you to the point where you see some success. Now it's time to hire some people.
Right.
Put them in charge. You don't got to do everything. You don't, like, you know what I mean? It's a shift in mindset, right? Now it's not about your skills. It's about strategy, right? It's about working smarter, not harder, right? And then once you do that, right, now you train some people up. they become the CEO, and now you're just an investor, right? And now you can spot opportunities, right? And those things are a change in mindset. You're not really, it's not a skill per se, right? There's skills involved, but growing and evolving is not just about skills. It's also about mindset. And as you go through the different chapters of your life and evolutions of your life, and you write your book, your mindset should be evolving as you get deeper into that book, right? And as you get into those later chapters. But you're in control.
I'm inspired.
Simply put.
You
got anything you want to add?
You just inspired me with what you said, brother. I'm just going.
I just inspired. Hey man. So I should have hit him with a you know what I mean, one of these.
Yeah, man. Hey, that was amazing.
Should have hit him with one of those, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, absolutely, man. I everything that you said, bro. You know what I'm saying, and I'm not even gonna try to piggyback on that, man. Just everybody got work to do. That's it, though.
We all got work to do, man. Because nobody's perfect. Yeah. It's simple as that. We all got work to do. Don't judge where you are compared to where somebody else is. You know what I mean? Like, comparison is the thief of joy. And everybody's not running the same race. This person might have got off to a head start, but then they slow down, right? And then this person might have got off to a slow start, but then they speed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is different, man. You're in control. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't, realize or acknowledge how much control they have of their life and their situations. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's power, man. And I feel like everybody has to recognize their inner powerhouse. That's one of our episodes.
We literally just
know what I'm saying? I don't know, episode 70 something, I believe. Your inner powerhouse. Yeah. You got to recognize that. You got to embrace that, because we all have it. We got to tap into it. Got to tap into that source where we feel unstoppable, unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? We bend, but we don't break. You know what I'm saying? We faced with challenges, but we're going to continue to move forward. Like, you got to have that mindset shift, like you were saying. Change your perspective, change your mindset. Really embrace where you are, see where you are, and believe that it's possible to move to that next page and create something that's magical. You know what I'm saying? Something that's unthinkable, something that's beyond your wildest dreams. And we all have the capacity to do it. We just have to find that one thing that really ignites us and be willing to go through the challenges that are going to come with it, because it's not going to be easy. But if you already have that expectation, I say this all the time too, and then we're going to close it out. But, it's like when you're going in a battle. If you know what your opponent's going to do, you've already disarmed them. It's like, okay, I know they're going to do this and they're going to do this. I know if I do this, this is how they're going to counter. When they counter like this, I'm going to do this. So if they do this, you know what I'm saying? It's strategic. But when you know or have somewhat of an expectation of what's to come, and you know that challenges are inevitable, hard times are inevitable, you're going to have good, you're going to have bad, you kind of disarm those moments. And it allows you to move more freely.
No, it's really kind of like the saying, the best offense is good defense, right? And like in this situation, your defense, quote unquote, is your strategy, your goals, your plans. So when you come across those challenging times, right? Those things that test you are difficult, or are difficult, that's how you get through them.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, best offense is great defense. You prepared, man. Hey, let's get it. I'm ready.
Absolutely. I like that.
But hey, good people, that concludes this episode, episode 80, which is just wild.
Bro, we got 20 more episodes, and we're going to be at 100.
We're going to have to do something for episode 100.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. As always, be sure to check out the website, all that good stuff. And y'all know the way it go, man. If you don't do nothing else,
keep it thorough.
We holler at y'all next week. Deuces.